Sean Walchef. This is Cali BBQ Media production. Welcome to Rising Tides Live. If you are on the backstage, thank you for being here. We meet every Wednesday, every Friday. We live stream on LinkedIn. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. If you see it on LinkedIn, Cali Barbecue Media, please reshare it. We want to have more voices up here on stage. This show started 4 years ago on the social audio app Clubhouse, and this community of digital hospitality leaders has people from all over the globe that join us. So thank you. Every Wednesday, every Friday, we do this show. Today, we're talking about lead generation. What does that mean from a B2B standpoint, business to business standpoint? What does it mean from a B2C, business to consumer? And what does it mean from an H to H, a human to human standpoint? We talk a lot about content. We say be the show, not the commercial. But there is value in being a commercial, in paying for commercial, and paying for advertising. So if you have advertising tips, paid advertising tips, we want to hear those. And we're really excited for today's conversation. If you're listening on Digital Hospitality, thank you for subscribing. This we repurpose on that feed, and we're really excited for today's conversation because we have community members that know how to get leads. We have a lot of experience in the restaurant space, running a restaurant for 17 years in Spring Valley. We learned how to get leads for our business. We're still learning how to get leads. So I can't wait for today's conversation. Let's go ahead and bring up the community. Thank you guys for being here. If you want to join the conversation, go to betheshow.media/rising tides. You can get the link to Riverside and join us. Like I said, the more voices we have on stage, the better the conversation. So thank you guys for being here. Let's go ahead and kick it off with Chris Tripoli. Chris, 60 seconds. Who are you? Actually, hold on 1 second. Ash, I think you need to mute. I can mute you, maybe. I can. Sweet. Look at that. I'm already producing the show. I got Mike and Stover producing in the background, but Chris Tripoli, go for it. 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you working on a Wednesday? And what are your thoughts on lead generation?
I love it. Thank you, Sean. Good to see you and everybody again. Sean, just as a quick aside, what I'm working on is a special summary of some of the top points that have come out of the first 3 years of doing Corner Booth for restaurantowner.com to feature in the Insight newsletter. And we're doing a webinar. One of my most hilarious finds was you going back to episode 11. I don't know how long ago that was.
Long time.
And I had forgotten that you were originally considering a career in law. And I guess somebody hit you upside the head with a 2x4 and you stayed in hospitality. So that's on episode 11 of our...
That's my law school rejection letter for those that are watching on video, or people that are just listening. I have 2 law school rejection letters that are proudly framed where I guess you would hang a law degree.
Well, anyway, I'm Chris Tripoli. The Restaurant Clinic is the small specialty leadership development and restaurant advisory that I'm the principal of. I work with restaurantowner.com and host Corner Booth. And Corner Booth is just a ton of fun podcast with entrepreneurs. And we're doing a special little anniversary thing, which is why I'm doing all this back history and finding some great quotes and tidbits from your host, Sean, which we will be featuring and exploiting as loudly as possible.
Fantastic. What are your thoughts on lead generation?
Well, my experience has been B2B. Obviously, if you're specialty in hospitality and you want to attract attention, the first thing that I try to practice and the first thing I tell people is be good at what you're doing. Find an area and just get better at it. Make noise in your specialty. If you're good, then become active through associations, through networks, so people know you as good at whatever it is, because that's what gets you that expert designation. And I've been fortunate, and I've seen this with others that are advisors or consultants, that if you can do those steps, if you find a specialty, if you exploit that specialty, get active in associations so that you network and people know you that way, then you've earned this expert designation. There's nowhere to go get that. You wind up earning it. People call you an expert in your specific area. And then people will find you. And that's the best lead generation, I think, is rather than putting the emphasis on trying to, sell, it's the emphasis on making noise about what you're doing and how good you're doing at it. And then find the appropriate associations that will broadcast that. People are always, when they're in need, looking for someone that they think is an expert in that area. At least that's how it's, I've been fortunate because that's how it's been working for me.
That's awesome, Chris. Yeah, it's something that we talk about a lot, obviously, on this show is what's your one word? What's the one word that somebody, when they think of who you are and what you do, if the problem that most people have, so many entrepreneurs, is that they get too technical about what they do. Like, who are you and what do you solve? Right.
Right. Or the other thing too is they get too broad. Instead of trying to hit a specific target, they shotgun it. They say, I'm going to announce all these different things I'm interested in doing. That's who I am. And I'm thinking, oh, no. Buckshot is not good. You got to be specific.
Yeah. And from a restaurant standpoint, I can speak from experience. When we opened and we were a breakfast restaurant, and then we added a dinner menu and a sports bar, and we had all of these things going for us, but we had no true designation until we actually leaned into barbecue. And we said, we're going to do barbecue. That's what we're going to get known for. We're actually going to rebrand so that people know that we're a barbecue business. Great points. Awesome, Chris. Hey, Matty Smokes, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here, man. Can you unmute and let the community know who are you? What are you building? And
thank you for having me, Sean.
Yeah, of course.
I'm Matty Smokes. So I've got two different businesses. One is Matty Smokes Barbecue and Catering, where we do private events for clients all over Long Island. I bring grills or I bring my barbecue trailer, and pretty much we let you enjoy your event. So even though we're hosting at your house, I want you to do nothing. We want to take care of paper goods, all the food, the service, bartenders, music, whatever it may be. And then I'm also owner and operator of JJ Cooper's, a restaurant in Long Beach. We've got 2 large catering rooms. I've got dining for about 125, upwards of 200 customers. So I've been doing that. We're about 4 blocks from the boardwalk. And so I've just been in the hospitality industry for almost 25 years now and love it.
That's amazing. How did you find this? How'd you find this community? How'd you find me? We're grateful that you're here.
So over the last few months, I've been really working on my LinkedIn account and, working on my networking. I've been in the kitchen. COVID kind of got me stuck in the kitchen and changed my role in the business. So I'm really trying to just push out new networking, new leads, expanding my career path. And so I think it was the barbecue. It was your posting on LinkedIn. You're all over it. I've now listened to, probably 5 or 6 podcasts in the last few weeks.
Sweet.
And so here we are.
Well, we're grateful to have you, Matt. It's awesome. We're going to make sure that the community will all follow you on LinkedIn. We have a LinkedIn DM group where we just share what people are building. If there's anything that you've got going on, we want to help promote it. We also have an Instagram group chat and a Slack channel. So shout out to the community. Please give Matty Smokes a follow, a connection request on LinkedIn. What are you doing from a lead generation standpoint for the catering business? Anything that's
so for the catering business, social media plays a large play, and just repeat business clientele, going in, making sure we do the best job possible, and truthfully, clients enjoying our services and compounding from there. I mean, an event that I'm doing could have anywhere between 25 upwards to my largest events with close to 1,000 people. So when we go in and we wow people with the equipment, the food, the service, honestly, that's my best lead generation. But on the other hand, photo shoots, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm looking to kind of take it even further. I mean, for my website, anyone that, puts in for a catering event, obviously they become a lead, and then we do direct email marketing as well. But there's always room to make it better.
Are you doing paid ads? Have you done any paid advertising for your business? Or
I
is
will do
everything?
paid ads on certain posts or reels or things that I'm developing. I am working with an AI developer right now to kind of really push it to the next level because it's very time consuming. I'm sure you understand it. Making a new reel, making a new video, making a new post every day for every business. It's very time consuming, but I do sometimes, if I spend extra time on really making something proper or a video or a reel or a photo shoot, I will support it with some paid advertising or even
Awesome.
right now opening into the busy season. So that's, right now, March, April, May. I might come out with a special early booking promotion and then, throw some money behind that being a sponsored post to make sure it gets out to who it needs to.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate you being here. You're welcome to unmute and ask questions and join the conversation at any time. Thank you for being here. Jason E. Brooks is in the house. Who are you? What are you building? And what are your thoughts on lead generation?
Jason E. Brooks, speaker, coach, author of Hospitivation. What am I building? I am building a framework for managing, leading, and coaching better in any industry. It just so happens I have 30 plus years within the restaurant business. Building leads, man, that is like, how do you build friends? Sometimes it's natural. Sometimes it is natural. A ton of times we have to put a system behind it. Do I have a system behind making friends? Yes, because I gotta try. Sometimes I'm an asshole. I can't lie. But I gotta make sure that when I'm focused on building leads, some of the platforms I use, one is speaking on stage. Speaking on stage is very important, I believe, in what I do. Because when I do that, I'm able to, one, solve a problem that people have, help to address quick wins, and help to make that one-on-one connection in person. And being at expos and conferences, it makes it easier to build more friends or true connections. On top of that, using LinkedIn, of course, joining groups, and then partnering with the right brands. That is something that when it comes down to building leads, how you first view yourself, because we do this thing, we dive in deep and we try to stay very singular as to who we are. And then for some reason, we naturally start to expand and start pulling in other things and other titles and other focuses. And then we see our rights from our wrongs, and then we dial back into that thing. And once we do that, that's whenever it's the best time to then start defining partnering a brand or partnering with brands. And it has to come natural. And that's a corny way of saying it, but it has to come natural because when you partner with certain brands, you start to again let the lead know why you're someone that they should connect with, should reach out to, should respond to, and that helps to define it because people like us do things like this. And what I mean by that, I think that's Seth Godin that said that. But whenever you're driving down the road and you're smiling at another Ford truck pickup guy or girl and say, "Ha, you are like me," or a minivan or whatever color shoes. When you partner with a brand, you then begin to build that trust within your leads for them to want to reach out to you. Then it's less about the output and it's more about the incoming leads versus pushing those out. So I know I just said a damn mouthful, but that's what I got on leads.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It was
stuff.
great. Yeah, no, building friendships and definitely the partnership angle, I think, is something that, when I think of what we've done from a restaurant standpoint of how did we wouldn't be in Snapdragon Stadium serving barbecue to the Major League Soccer team, the San Diego FC. You know, I'm going to the game on Saturday night, and it's going to be 35,000 fans there. We wouldn't have had that opportunity if we didn't do the deep work in the community of taking care of all of the people that walked in our door, of doing community events, of going on the local news, like all of those opportunities eventually led us to a university like San Diego State reaching out to our brand to go, we think that you would be good in this stadium. And now, you know, it's something that it's really cool to see. And B2B, it works the same way. You know, I've gotten business because I speak on stage, and I don't care if there's 3 people in the audience or 300. The opportunity to speak, refine your story, refine your speech, but you never know who's going to be there, because sometimes when there's no one in the audience, vendors that are there might be like, Jason's the perfect person that we need, and we have 100 clients that we want to introduce Jason to.
Yeah, I wanted to just underline that. I really like that point, Jason, that you made, that it's for 2 reasons. That speaking to the right audience doesn't just solve the issue that day. You're probably answering somebody's issue that day, but you're also telling your story to people who might want to talk to you later. So it is, yeah, it is. It's great for information, great for promotion. It's a really good point.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Danita, are you able to unmute? Thank you for joining again. We appreciate it. Welcome back. Oh, hold on. I think, let's see. Hold on 1 second. Mike, I think Danita's volume levels might be down.
Oh, I could hear her just fine.
Oh, you can? I can't hear her. Okay, go ahead, Danita. I can't. You can hear her, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I'm with Sean. I can't hear her.
I can't hear
That's
her.
so weird. Yes, I can hear her very well.
That's so weird.
I can't hear.
Sorry. Oh, here we go. Let's try again, Danita. Are you able
Hi,
to?
everybody.
Yes. Now we got you. That was
Good. All right.
you get
I
practice.
am.
Now you get to go again.
And I
Double
want you to
practice.
know I did my first in making a batch of chocolate chip cookies. I did my first videotaping the whole thing. No matter what, I just kept it rolling.
Amazing.
But I am I've found a location that I am trying to get my restaurant, Danita's Cafe. So I'm working on that, and I am here to learn everything that you all are saying, because I want to succeed. I want to start off with the success. So I don't want to have to, I'm learning from the masters, so I expect the best.
Well, we're here. We're here. This community will support you. We have restaurateurs, we have caterers, people that operate food trucks, coaches, you name it. We're a community to support you. And thank you for showing back up. We appreciate that. And great job on the
My
first video.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Are we
I'm
connected?
listening.
Are we connected on LinkedIn, Danita?
I did not do that. Is LinkedIn all the same? Like I don't know how to like go on it. The only thing I know how to do is
Instagram.
respond to somebody.
How about Instagram?
I have it, but I've never did it. Somebody else set it up for me.
Where'd you post your video?
Oh, I didn't post it yet. Post it yet.
Let's post it.
I don't know how to do it. I gotta find out.
Do you have a Facebook page?
I do, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do any of it. I had somebody that I was depending on to help me, and they backed out. They don't have time. So I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna get it.
So the easiest, download the Facebook app on your phone, and then upload the video do it directly from your phone. Everything from your phone.
Okay.
That's what we call smartphone storytelling. It's too hard to take a different camera and then download it onto a laptop. Like, we do have the smartphone is the most magical business tool that's ever been invented.
Thank you for that tip, and I will do it
And
today.
very quickly, Miss Danita, if you're looking for
Yes.
the place to post, look for the plus sign.
The plus
Anytime you see
sign.
the plus sign, that's saying add your content. So look for the plus sign. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Sean. I will make
it.
sure I get that done.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.
Ian,
I'm listening.
You got it. Ian, you're up. Who are you? What are you working on a Wednesday? And how do you get leads for your business?
Ian Hawksworth with EHS Recruiting Company. I'm building my network, basically. I'm a recruiter. We help restaurants and hospitality companies find top talent in leadership coast to coast. And my office focuses on Southern California. For leads, we really have been taking a multi-pronged approach to it. So a majority of our clients come from referrals. So it's really doing what Chris said, doing good work, getting those referrals. That's like our primary way to get new clients and leads. But beyond that, we also have been up in our game on LinkedIn, putting in time and energy there for our company page. We post a lot of our jobs and everything there so that we show, both clients and candidates what we can do to assist them. And then I'm launching a newsletter for us just to share our industry insights with everybody. So that's another new way that we're going to try to reach out to prospective leads. And then we're diving into the convention and trade show areas, going to different networking events. So we just had a couple of my partners, Lauren and Vanessa, went out to a California Restaurant Association event last week, and then also to the Click convention, which is for hospitality investors and the hotel space. So just going out there and meeting people face to face. So it's a little bit of everything. There's no bad way to find leads, but I think in hospitality in particular, people like to know who they're working with. So you got to form some bonds and meet people where they are.
Awesome. Can you share more about the newsletter? Which platform are you publishing? What's your cadence? How do we subscribe? We're doing a Rising Tides live on newsletters specifically coming up in the next couple of weeks. But anyone that has a newsletter, we would love to subscribe to it, support it. Go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, our page is EHS Recruiting Company, Southern California. Mm-hmm. So if you follow our page there, then it's going to be published on LinkedIn on a monthly basis.
Awesome. Sweet. Written content, video content, memes.
We're starting written, and then we'll see where it evolves from there. So, I'm just dabbling in video myself. So we're going to start written and see where it takes us.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Ian. We appreciate it. Ash, my friend, congratulations. We have 2 year anniversary.
2 years anniversary.
2 years in the restaurant business, my man.
It's like 10 years.
Like 14.
14 probably easily. Yes, 2 years. Yes, unbelievable.
He probably had a full head of hair 2 years ago.
He did. The first time I met Ash, he had long hair.
It's a very long trip. I started with you guys a long time ago, right? And we went and started the 2 years ago trip. Man, it's crazy. But
That's
this
right.
2025, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how 2025 turn around. Hopefully, but to the better for everybody. But I don't know. Thank you for that. I'm Ash, owner of Muya Burger Fries and Shake. Been in the restaurant business for 20 years. I'm a completely mad human being to open a restaurant, and I think everybody in the restaurant business is mentally ill. It's a suicide mission, but I think it's a beautiful journey. I love it. You honestly have to have a passion for it to survive. I think that's my opinion. How I get leads? I get my leads on catering specifically. I'm always focused on catering. I'm very passionate about that. I love it. So I created a poster in my restaurant, and I put a box of our catering bar by the entrance, and it has a flyer with a QR code. And we also do send those flyers in all our DoorDash, Uber Eats, online orders, the big orders. Like if you order a $50 order, see $100 order, you get a flyer. And I just put that flyer with a QR code. Always engage with the guest in Medina. You should know that about me. So when somebody's wondering about, they're looking at the tickets, so I explain to them how good it is and how easy it is. We have, I think, 4.9 review on Easy Catering, so that helped a lot. Uh, and then also most of the catering I do it myself. I deliver it. So when I do that, I take some $5 card for a first order, and I give it to the catering people I'm doing the catering event for. I also go to that building and I just drop more flyers or business cards. It depends. When you walk in reception, if they're friendly, they're nice, I give them the $5 and I give them my business card. And hey, because my business card has all the QR codes for catering, for social media. So I give them that. Say, hey, if you like to do catering for us, let me know and we can work together. So that's how I get these.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Ash. Congratulations. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I need to get back up to Muya Burger sometime soon. Elizabeth Doss.
I like that.
Elizabeth, you're up. How do you get leads?
That's a great question. No. First off, I'm Elizabeth Doss. I am a social media consultant and an animated GIF maker. I help brands and businesses with their custom branded GIFs that they use in Instagram stories for stickers and as well in comments across the platforms. Anyway, so if you're interested in having your own custom animations, reach out to me and I would love to teach you all about my crazy little world where you can bring joy back to your engagement process. So for me on the leads side of things, different parts of the business, do different things. I will say just showing up and talking about what you do and talking about what you know. I had a person I'd worked with a year or two ago. They reached out in December. We had never had a conversation about me doing social media for them, but she said, I want to work with you. I know that you know what you're doing and I have these goals. And so I was like, okie dokie. So anyway, so just show up and talk about what you do. And that's the hard part for us. We'll talk about everything around what we do, but never actually say the darn thing. But my second thing especially for the animated GIF part of, it's a weird service / product that I'm making for people. But what I love to do is at the end of my first round with them, where we've onboarded them to the Giphy platform and all these things, when we finish the package out, I will say to them, if you send me a referral, then I will give you 5 new gifts to add to your account. Now, I don't know what that looks like in y'all's world. Maybe if you're a coach, you can say you'll get a free 15-minute, extra session or something like that. But think about how could you incentivize referrals? So when people think of it, you can send that little kickback. I mean, this is what real estate agents do really well. They're always, when someone gives them a referral, they're going to say they're going to have a substantive I can't think of the word, incentive or a gift for them in that side. And so my final thing is ask for the referral. So for my clients, I say, hey, if anybody asks you how you did this or how you made these animations, how you are showing up on LinkedIn with your own custom thank you note, if they ask you how to do it, would you consider sending them my way and letting them know how you did it? That would be a really great help for me. So when people start to compliment you, so I know Sean does a lot of, his company does a lot of content creation for restaurants. And when those restaurants starts to get the compliments, like, wow, you guys are really showing up, fantastic online. I've noticed, this huge difference in what you guys are doing. And you can say, well, we're working with Sean. Now I've run into people who like to keep their cards close. They don't want to tell who they're working with because they don't want there to be competition. But the whole thing is about this space specifically is a rising tide lifts all ships. And so I get the idea of wanting to keep your cards close, but why not lift the people around you to see something magical happen for everybody involved? So anyway, those are a couple of my thoughts. I will hand it back to you, Sean.
Great points, Elizabeth. Awesome. Yes, a rising tide does lift all ships, and that's what this community is all about. That's why we show up every week. We do the calls so we all know what everyone does, and when someone is top of mind, it makes it much easier to refer them. Speaking of top of mind, Richard, are you going to teach me anything today? Teach the community? It's been a long time. I feel like we've been out of class for a long time.
Well, I'm very disappointed that the Americans changed time.
I thought you were disappointed in who your Cleveland Browns picked as your quarterback.
Well, that's been the last 20 years, Sean. But moving on, you guys changed time, and it's really annoying because we don't move our clocks back for 2 or 3 weeks, and it's only 7 hours. And I just want to point out that we Brits invented time. But today's word,
of course you did.
If you cut yourself, you've got you've got a knife cut in the kitchen because you've been chopping some stuff up. What do you put on that cut?
Neosporin.
A plaster.
Sugar.
Whiskey.
You put a plaster on it.
Plaster. Definitely don't put plaster on it.
Plaster.
Get infected.
You guys call it Band-Aids. We call it plasters.
Stop it. No, you do not.
Yeah, we do.
You don't have Band-Aids?
No, we have plasters. Why would you have
a company?
Band-Aid's something that
intense plasters.
Band-Aid's something that we did in the 1980s to raise money for charity.
Who's in England?
Seriously, plaster. If you go into a chemist,
is plaster a company? Is plaster a company like Kleenex?
No.
Okay, it's just a generic word for Band-Aid.
Correct.
Who corners the Band-Aid or the plaster market in England?
Probably Band-Aid.
I love it.
I knew you were going there.
There you go. For a branding man, I think you would appreciate that.
I do. It's like the Walkman. Well done, Sony.
Well done, Sony. That's right. Richard, who are you? What are you working on today? And
hello, I'm Richard. I've actually been working on my own business today, which is a pain in the ass because it's always easier doing other people's business. And I run a business called Richer Solutions, where we do coaching, mentoring, branding, consultancy for businesses all over the world. And I really like this conversation. And I'm surprised that my good friend Scott Turner's not here because he follows Leeds United, which is a terrible football team in the UK. And I advise you all, if you ever comes up, just delete it. They're horrible.
My son is a huge fan.
Well, he's in for a life of pain. And
he's a huge fan. Well, he's a Chargers fan too, so can't hold it all.
But finding Leeds, obviously it's a large city in the north of England with a crap football team. But finding Leeds to your business, I think it's really interesting hearing how lots of people have gone about it. And what's fascinating for me is all of those junk mails that you get or those LinkedIn spam messages, and I can bring you lots of leads, and I'm there just like, behave yourself. And I'm sure there are some digital people out there that can do it, but I've not been impressed and ever seen it work. I'm sure it does, but not for me. And for me, we've talked about activating referrals, and when Elizabeth was saying, well, where do you get most of your leads from? I'd like to say that I'm responsible for about a third of them, Elizabeth. But there's also that bit where we've talked about how you get them. I also think there's a bit before you start asking for them and before you go looking for them, which is make sure you've got a damn good product. And I think there's that little bit where lots of people will try and do it, but if you don't have that product, you built a house on sand. So make sure your product's damn good. So if somebody's going to refer you, that the person that refers you or you're going after that work, they're going to get something good, because otherwise it's one and done. And I think there's something where if you do something really great, people come back to you over and over and over again and share you with your community. And I think lots of us have talked about word of mouth and referral. A lot of my business comes through word of mouth. And I'm really proud of that because it means that I've got a good product. One of the challenges is how do you get more leads? And it was interesting. Elizabeth said you need to ask for them. I mean, being British, we're terrible at asking for them. I could rave about lots of people I work with. So I'm going to try something different. I'm going to be American. And I put my Band-Aid on and I'm going to say, I need some work. So if anybody wants to work with a consultant or a coach or somebody that loves branding and is actually pretty good at it, give me a call. And that is a challenge that I'm going to set to my clients. And one of the things that I always think you should do is you shouldn't ask somebody you're not prepared to do yourself. So for instance, I ask people to get coached. I get myself coached. I ask people to work with me as a mentor. I have mentors. I ask people to do better branding. I've made sure I've done it myself. So I think there's that little bit where you've got to live and breathe what you do. So here's me living and breathing it. I need some work. Here I am.
I love it. That's a great transition into our next topic, which is what would transform your business if you got those leads. So what currently are you working on and what are you asking this community to help you with? And Richard started off brilliantly. Jason, how can this community help you with lead generation? What part of your business are you growing?
You know, it's kind of, that's like asking to pick one child that you love.
Pick the most profitable child, please.
Pick the most profitable, the one with the most potential.
The one with the biggest ROI.
Love it. Let's see here. To be honest, where I could get more leads at, because we love to say that we are specialists, but we have this generalist type of mentality to us that there's certain things that has us go chasing rabbits down holes. But if I were to choose one that I'm like, I need these other 7 lovely human beings on this call to help me build more leads for, I'd say workshops for small to medium restaurant brands that are at that lovely term, at that beautiful tension mark, that beautiful tension to where it's that stress, but they're right on the precipice of that next level while right on the edge of falling off that cliff. They can see and they know exactly where they need to go, but they really do need that compass to just say, is that truly north? They may know what the answer is, but they need someone to help walk them through to build that confidence in order to get there. So if you know of any restaurant brands, anywhere between 5 and 100 locations, and they are at that point to where every business right now, every business is making cuts. They're making cuts on training. They're making cuts on development. They are making cuts on field teams. But this is our opportunity to actually help them, because as they're cutting all these people, they still need to grow. They still need to improve their business from yesterday and be better tomorrow. So if you know any businesses that need someone to come in and do a deep dive, free 30-minute consultation, just to meet and greet. I'm not going to save the planet with a silver bullet in 30 minutes, but we will have a great conversation, find out what's top of mind, and see, is it worth another phone call?
Amazing. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate you. And anybody, I guess I'll do my homework assignment. We're going to be showing up. Cali Barbecue Media is going to be showing up at the Pizza Expo, the Bar and Restaurant Show in Las Vegas. That is in 2 weeks. If you know any brands that are there that want to better tell their story, have them reach out to me. We do all different types of brand collaborations. We have lots of restaurant technology partners, but we will also be at Restaurant Leadership Conference in Phoenix, as well as the National Restaurant Association show in Chicago. So if you know anybody that is attending those shows that wants to collaborate with Cali Barbecue Media, please let them know that we have open availability, but hopefully that open availability won't last for too long. Maddie Smokes, how can we help you?
I mean, for me right now, it's all about networking, meeting people,
Who
exploring.
do you want to meet? Who specifically in the restaurant space? Is it someone in your neighborhood, in your community?
No, the people that
A
I want to
vendor?
meet are the people that are managing multi location corporations. In a few weeks, I'm headed out to the bar and restaurant show at the Javits Center in the city, and
Sweet.
even on that Monday night, they've got a mixer for all the hospitality people at Tao Restaurant Group. So I'm going to be attending that to try and. Right now, I've got 2 small operations, decent sized operations, and it's how do you go out and run multiple locations and keep the lead generation going and keeping all these locations busy, as well as operating them when you can only really be in one place at one time.
When you're at the bar and restaurant show in New York, go to the presentation by Chip Close, Rev Ciancio, and Kelsey from Marquee. I believe they're doing
Wait, Sean, you can't not mention me at the New York restaurant show. I'll be there too, damn it.
Well,
What the hell is going on?
Obviously,
Sean
you guys want to be BFFs.
Yeah, Maddie, we are going to hook up and let's
Just like,
make some real
just like you
connections,
and me and Jason got to hang at the California restaurant show.
Yes, exactly.
That
was a
that's
blast.
digital hospitality in real life. That's IRL. That's how it happens. So Jason,
Sounds good, Jason.
yeah, exchange contact info with Maddie. That way you guys can connect and you guys can share stories. But yeah, stay curious, get involved, ask for help. Curious people will find shows like this, but then you actually have to do something with it. You know, that's why we do the homework assignments. But then you also have to ask for help. So Maddie, we'll make some introductions for you. And if there's anything we can do, keep showing up, man. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Super excited to hear what you learn in New York. Let's go ahead. Ash, what can we help you with?
If you're in Carlsbad area, anybody in Carlsbad that looking for catering, that would help a lot. We do get a very good burger bar. It's one of the best. Nobody does the burger bar like us. So that's a big deal. If you know any celebrities that can come and visit my restaurant and expose me, please.
There it is. Well, we appreciate you, Ash. Thank you. Chris, what can we do for you?
Sir. Well, I think the most specific thing that can help us at the restaurant clinic are introductions to, say, small restaurant groups growing. Much like where Jason, was going, we're a little similar in that, except we seem to have much more success with the smaller group. By that, I mean 5-unit guys, 4-unit guys to say 10, 15-unit guys. They want to perform better. They need to develop techniques for staff retention, improved leadership. That larger, company, once somebody gets on the other side of 50, 70 million a year, they seem, for us anyway, to have multiple departments and a little bit more bureaucracy. So we seem to have tremendous success with restaurant groups that are, 50 million a year or less, working with their operations and with leadership. So that helps. A small point of difference is that we do a lot of work internationally. If you seem to know of groups in other countries coming into the States looking to grow, we've got a couple now that we're really helping with, weaving their way into markets and helping them adjust ops just the right way. We will be in the Central American region for the Food Service Consultant Society Conference later this month. And that seems to be a hot market. Restaurant people concepts going to Central America and South America. We have a number, I think we're up to about 6 particular one-on-one possibilities to meet with there that want to come, to the States. So there's an awful lot of work that allows us to do. We like that work. So those are the types of intros that would be really good for us if you know any.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Ian, who do you need to get in front of?
Yeah, we generally talk to talent acquisition folks quite a bit. A lot of times those are the decision makers that would bring us on board. Otherwise, owners and multi-unit managers in some cases. So those are the types of contacts that help us out a lot. We also are very collaborative. So we've even partnered with other recruiters to team up on different searches and things of that nature. So we're always willing to entertain conversations with people across the board. And we work with, restaurant companies ranging from 1 or 2 locations to Fortune 500 level companies. So a little bit of everything and everything in between. So
amazing. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate it. Laura, welcome to the party. Who are you? What are you building? And what are your thoughts on lead? How does Laura generate leads?
Oh my goodness, such a great topic. I've been helping businesses grow for 3 decades now. I've tried probably everything, made a ton of mistakes in trying to reach out to the restaurants that I want to speak with. And I know many of you restaurant operators have probably been on the receiving ends of some absolutely terrible reach outs. And so I think we could do a show just on, the worst. And I know Richard, yeah, like what not to do. This would be really good.
Oh,
But
Laura, we should open up our LinkedIn direct messages and just shame people again. So much fun.
I would love to see these things. One
We
of
should
our
screen
clients,
share it.
yes, because one of our clients, Grimaldi's Pizza in Arizona, posted today saying, and I asked her to screenshot the email to help business development people know what not to do, because I think they're just going to keep doing it until until operators are transparent enough to say, don't do this. So we could probably all save ourselves from some, tons of spam in our LinkedIn message and our email inbox if we could just teach people what not to do. But backing up, my name is Laura Wilbur, and I'm in the business of showing up for my restaurant clients and bringing friends. I believe showing up is 80% of success. And when we show up with consistency, we can't lose. And especially with a group of friends and networking buddies like we all have here. And when I say I'm in the business of showing up for my restaurant clients and bringing friends, by friends, I mean 21 million expense account diners who are traveling for official company business, looking for great restaurants for dine-in, carry-out, catering, private events, every type of direct sale. And it's an early and midweek guest. It's a much higher average check because when people are spending the company's money, they're not as price sensitive as we all are right now due to inflation and consumer confidence being low. Consumers are pulling back a little bit, but business travelers are absolutely not. So I'm Director of Strategic Partnerships at DeNova Corporate Dining. We are contracted by global companies and government agencies to run a network of approved and preferred restaurants that become part of company policy. So that's what I do. And right now, what I'm working on is closing out our quarter with adding a bunch of great restaurants to the network all over the country. I'm focused mostly on the western half of the US. Want to say thank you to the Rising Tide community and this show, because after Friday's episode, I got a reach out on LinkedIn from someone who said they listened and they wanted to see about getting their restaurant in New York on the platform. So
amazing.
Was that you?
No way.
What?
How about that?
Oh my God, Maddie! Hi. I didn't know you. Okay, I didn't know you went by Maddie. Yes. What did the partners in the business office say?
I definitely think we're moving forward. You're going to hear from Joni in the next day or two.
How about that? Look at that. Closing deal.
Wow, that's so exciting. I appreciate that so much.
No, thank you.
So like all of you, I think the dream in business development and growing our business is attracting business instead of chasing it. And when you reach that level where people trust you and feel comfortable with you, it's it just makes sales so much better and so much more fun. And the chasing game is absolutely miserable. We've talked together on this show before about how tough it is for new people entering that sales role to make it, because they have a sales quota and they're going to get fired if they don't make any sales. So, you know, desperate times bring out the absolute worst in people. And I don't have an answer as to how a new person could get to this phase of have enough time where their boss isn't going to fire them when they're moving to this role of attracting business instead of chasing it.
That's amazing.
It's a delicate balance.
It reminds me of Troy Hooper shared, be a magnet, not a billboard.
Yeah.
How do you attract, like, to your point, chasing the client versus attracting the client, and knowing what you do is so good that other people are recommending what you do to other people?
Sean, it's interesting you say that, because actually a metaphor from dating, and I wonder if Troy used the same method in dating. But the actual thing about what's really interesting when you take it another way is if you went up to somebody and said, "Hey, you should date me. I'm really attractive." Well, that's nice. But actually, if somebody else said, "Hey, that guy over there is really attractive. He wants to buy you a drink, and you should go out on a date." And I think there's that little bit where Laura's absolutely right when she talks about sales and about attracting people. It takes time and it takes a lot of effort. And if you try and shortcut it, that's when we get the crap that we've been joking about on LinkedIn and email. But think about it as dating. Magnets rather than billboards. And I wonder if that was a tactic in Troy's dating history. We'll have to ask him.
And another little cliche is be a fountain, not a drain.
Yes.
So we can all give from our abundance. There's absolutely more than enough for all of us to go around. And that's what the philosophy of this group is. The rising tide lifts all ships. So you're a fountain. Each of you is a fountain of information and sharing best practices and showing up. And as opposed to just asking, which would be a drain.
Thank you, Laura. We appreciate it. Elizabeth, did you share? My boxes are all thrown off.
Oh, you're fine.
My
We'll keep your boxes in line.
Keep my
I'm
boxes in
not shared on this how people
Yes.
can help. So one of the big things is I've come across is, especially specifically talking about the animated GIF side of my business, is one, people don't know how those GIFs show up in their social media. And so for me, just educating people with it, but if you come across a small business, a restaurant, I would love to have more restaurants than real estate agents under my belt. But I love real estate agents too. But if you're a restaurant or a small business posting on social media, having your own custom animated GIFs is a way for you. And so I'm saying this to you guys so you can repeat it, is what my point is in this. It's a great way for you to brand your content within the apps, because your GIFs will then be searchable within the apps. It's also a great way for you to engage with your community. So say you're at a restaurant, you're super busy, you guys don't always have time to respond, but how many times do you get asked what your hours are? And you could have your own custom animated GIF that tells what the hours are, or other FAQs, etc., that anyone on the team can comment with, and it's an approved statement by leadership. They're not going rogue in the comments section on your restaurant page, etc. And then also the visibility part of things. One statistic I love to tell is that Richer Solutions, which is located in the United Kingdom, when you type in UK, one of Richard's GIFs shows up in GIF search as the #2 spot, and it has consistently for months. And so it's a great way, even localization wise, if somebody is typing in Carlsbad in the GIF search, it might pull up all the Muya's GIFs when and if we create GIFs for Muya. But all I'm saying is this idea of thinking about it a little bit differently and jumping in there and doing that. So my ask on the lead side of this is is if you come across anybody who's doing social media and is struggling with the engagement side of things, please think of me and send them my way. Because one thing I want to point out is Richard has coached me on this idea that it's not just what I sell. You get me when you buy with me. You get my thinking, you get my strategizing. And it's going to be custom to whatever you're working on, because I love to crawl up inside your business and think through how can we use these specifically animated GIFs, but also the social media content creation side of things. How can we create a system for you that works the best? So anyway, and that's true for everybody on this call. When people when they hire to work with you, they don't just get the product that you're giving them, they get you. And that's one thing that Richard has taught me really well. And one thing Richard, I want to hear you say that Richer Solutions is therapy for your business, because it is. I think our sessions have been more therapy.
I'm just going to put it like this. You just said that you made me more popular than the King of England on GIFs, like mic drop, Elizabeth Fowle.
Fantastic. Reminder, Friday's show, Laura is going to co-host. We are going to talk about trade shows and conferences, best practices, what not to do, what to do, booths that work, booths that don't work, what to pack, where to go, what to do. And I'm really excited. Obviously, we talked about this community shows up in lots of places throughout the country, all the way from California to New York to London to Bulgaria, wherever you are in the world. We have friends in India that listen to the show. This is truly a global hospitality community, and we know that it's only getting smaller. That's why we love doing this kind of work, is that there's new people that are going to find this podcast, that are going to find this clips on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on TikTok. A reminder, this will get repurposed on Digital Hospitality. So if you're not subscribed to Digital Hospitality Podcast, please do that. Please go to Cali Barbecue Media's YouTube page and subscribe, because we repurpose these shows on there. And if you're listening, we want you to be on the show. So please join us on these shows every Wednesday, every Friday. Let's go around and do a tip, takeaway, homework assignment. Maddie, let's start with you. Thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for having me again. My homework is to figure out, more ways, just like working with Laura, possibly with Denova, and how do I get more people through the door on a regular basis, whether it's a presence on social media, hitting the boardwalks with flyers, or flying a plane over the beach always helps. But doing more of it that I'm gonna have to spend less time on doing, and obviously generating larger leads.
Amazing. Thank you. Chris, what's your tip, takeaway, homework assignment?
I think my short-term objective, and I mean really short-term, like this week, next week, is I have educational content that must be finished. I've got some webinar programming and some restaurantowner.com educational information to update. Halfway done. First half was fun. Second half is like going to the dentist. And so that's my short-term goal. I need to finish the content I've been developing.
Awesome. And shout out to Dean LeBay. I saw you, Dean, join. I'm sorry you didn't get to share, but we appreciate you in the comments following. You're a rock star. Thank you, Dean. Ian, what's your tip, takeaway, homework assignment?
My takeaway is continue with the feedback of Troy Hooper, be a magnet, not a billboard. So I want to keep working on creating my magnet. So finding ways to try to attract the right people, and also on Richard's note, asking for those referrals, making sure that we reach out to our satisfied clients and let them know that we want to help others like them.
Awesome. Richard, what's your tip, takeaway, homework assignment? Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, I'm going to drink my medicine and put myself out there and ask for it. But I'm also going to continue championing other people. I work with the best people. I work with the most amazing clients. I'm going to carry on singing them, because there's something, and again, if you're going to live and breathe your values, yes, you need to make leads for yourself, but you also need to make leads for great people in your community. And I'm really proud. That's what networking is about. And it goes back to that rising tide concept that Laura mentioned. I just think there's something really amazing about that. So it's about championing myself, championing my clients, and that's what it's all about. And that way, if you've got the great product, book the bands and they will come.
There you go. Elizabeth.
Yeah, sure. So one of my homework assignments for everybody is a simple post that you can make across your social platforms. You can create it in Canva. You can create it within some of the apps with some of their text things that they offer, like Instagram stories, etc. But screenshot, but post this and say referrals are the greatest compliment. And then in the caption, say, if I've worked with you and you liked the work that I did, would you consider referring me to somebody in your sector that could get a lot of help out of this? But actually do a post about asking for a referral. And it is the greatest way to give a compliment, is to say, actually, I worked with them and they were amazing. So anyway, that's your homework assignment. Back to you, Sean.
That's an awesome homework assignment. I love it. Laura, take away homework assignment.
Okay, a thought that came up, Chris, from the part of your educational material that you are not wanting to do. I believe that Richard could help you with this. He's just so gifted at kind of breaking it down and helping you understand what brings you joy in your work and how to make something fun. So if nothing else, I would say you two have a conversation, and Richard can, I know that Richard can help. My homework assignment is to ask you, Sean, about this bar restaurant expo and pizza expo. I'm strongly considering going. We don't have it in the budget. It looks like the registration fee is not that high compared to some of the conferences like Restaurant Leadership, which I'll also be at, but maybe offline, unless you want to share now. Who else do you know that's going? What do you know where you're staying?
I'm traveling with the Wolfpack, so I'll be with my family, but we're doing content for Davo. So Davo's our sales tax automation. We've been doing a lot of in-person restaurant testimonial tech stack type of videos.
Nice.
But I love this show because it's 2 shows. It's actually 3 shows. So when you think of like the restaurant ecosystem, there's a pizza specific segment for Pizza Expo. These are the best pizza operators. They are so dialed into their pizza. They're also looking at technology. You have the bar and restaurant show, which is started as a nightclub show and now has evolved into a more restaurant focus, education focus. I know Jason Brooks speaks at that. Chip Close speaks at that. There's a lot of educational opportunities, but then also at the same time is the multi-unit franchise conference. So the Troy Hoopers of the world, the Greg Majewskis, the Big Chickens, like they're all there for that show. So it's like that week, Vegas has a lot of really impressive Is that you, Ash?
He's muted, but you can still hear that feedback.
Yeah. Well, we're good. But yeah, if that, hopefully that's helpful. But like when you think of like traveling for a conference, usually you're traveling for one show. So like, I don't know what the ability is to go to multiple shows. But I think it's interesting because that's all happening in the same city at the same time. Oh,
Thank you for that. And just, kind of backing up on the idea of referrals, it really is wonderful if you have a chance to walk the floor at any of these things. And we'll talk about this on Friday. But just to say, hey, have you met Sean yet? He's doing incredible things with content. And, have you met Elizabeth? Have you met Richard? All of you. That's a really fun way to kind of just break the ice if you're ever able to do it.
Yep. Great stuff, Laura. Who hasn't gone? Was it you, Richard? Are you closing us out? You and Ash? Go for it. Or Richard, did you? I'm so thrown off today. You went. Do you have anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, just delighted that Myles Garrett re-signed, but the quarterback situation, it goes on.
Brutal. Can Myles Garrett play quarterback?
think I might have to transition from rugby to, gosh, no.
Ash, what's your tip, takeaway, homework assignment?
I'm working on two deals to sign, and hopefully we'll go through, and then I'll let everybody knows here. I need to increase my catering, so I need to go out there in the community and push for that. That's what I'm working on this week, I hope.
Amazing. Well, thank you
Ash,
guys all.
really quick,
Go ahead.
Ash, have you hit up the law offices in your area?
No, I did not.
Okay. If there's any,
Right.
Alex Hermosi says, if
Thank
you
for
want to
reminding me.
recession-proof your business, sell to the rich. So focus on
correct.
businesses that aren't as price sensitive as, sometimes schools and those types of clients can have tighter budgets, but accounting firms, law offices, all of that. Sell to the rich.
That is great
Sounds good.
advice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Laura.
For those that didn't see on video, Alex Hermosi wrote a book, $100 Million Leads. It is a phenomenal book about this exact topic that we talked about today. Alex Hermosi also has an awesome podcast that I listen to. I have very limited time now, but his show is one of the shows that I definitely make sure to tune into. So if you want more leads for your business, he is foremost expert in how to do it. But thank you all, Chris, Ian, Maddie, Ash, Laura, Elizabeth, Richard, and Stover, and Mike for producing. We appreciate you. Friday, join us again. We're talking about trade shows, best practices, events, where to show up, how to show up. And Laura will be co-hosting with me. So please bring your stories, bring your feedback, and bring your questions. We look forward to it. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap.